So we've all been dating for a while, right? We've all been out on dates, whether it's blind dates, Bumble, Tinder, Okay Cupid, Jacked, Grinder, Tammy. Is that one of the other queer ones that I should probably get on? We've all been out here dating. We've all been on dates with people who are not for us just because we think that they fit certain criteria. But everybody is not a match, baby. And we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about why just because somebody said yes to the date doesn't mean that you should go. Doesn't mean that you should be in a relationship. Doesn't mean that the relationship is going to be good. Come on, let's talk about it. I'm your host, Love Goddess. We all grown here, right? Or on our way to being grown. So we know that not everybody is gonna like us. I know. It can hurt our feelings when people don't like us. But that's okay. You're not for everybody. Everybody is not supposed to like you. And also, you're not supposed to like everybody. It's okay. It's okay for you not to be liked. It's okay for you to not be liked even if you're with somebody who is your skin folk, who is within the same gender identity, within the same gender expression or sexuality. It don't matter if all those match up. Somebody could still not like you. And most likely there are people who look and act just like you or in the same demographics as you who don't like you. And that's okay. But that is where discernment comes in. Discernment is judging. And I know we're not supposed to judge. I get it. But how will you ever know who's here for you if you don't go through the judgment process, if you don't go through a vetting process, if you don't take it a little bit slower and talk to them so you can get to know them better? How will you ever know if you don't judge? Okay? Judge. It's okay to judge. It's okay to ask people questions. That's how you figure out things. Don't just rely on the simple questions of, where you live, what do you do, what do you like to do for fun? No, ask them weird questions. A question I love asking is, if you had to choose any superpower, what would it be and why? Because that tells me a lot about you. So much about you. Because what do you value? What do you think is your strength that you would pick? Or what do you think that is your weakness that you would want more help with? You can learn that in the superhero question, your superpower question. Ask them about your hobbies to see if they even want to do things with you. Like if you like to go wine tasting and you go on a date with somebody who only drinks whiskey, y'all are not going to be as compatible as you think. You both drink, but you don't drink the same things. Ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. Make a questionnaire if you need to. Make it feel like an interview if that makes you comfortable. But you're trying to figure out who works for you and who doesn't. Because you're going to be spending a lot of time with this person. You're going to maybe consider inviting them to meet your friends, to meet your family, to meet your kids. It's incredibly important for you to discern who would be good to be around the people that you love. And you can't know that if you're not asking questions and you're not discerning what their answers are. You need to pick it out. Discernment is just a process. It's just a vetting process to see what works for you and what doesn't. And that's okay. I know it's hard for us queer people to find people who are also queer, not just questioning, Not to be too hard on the questioning people, but like, that can be a little bit annoying. It's hard for us to find dates that we actually connect with. That's okay. It might take you a while. It might take you a long, periodically time to find somebody that you connect with. That's okay. And for some of us who get into relationships pretty quickly on some, let's just see if this works. On some experiment shit. I get it. Experimenting is incredibly fun. That's how a lot of us figured out that we were queer. It's fun. But you can't keep experimenting with everyone thinking that it's always going to go well. You have to accept that when you do experiments, it won't always prove your theory right. We learned this in science class. If you remember anything from science class, remember that your hypothesis could be wrong. That's what the experiment is for. That's what dating is for. Dating is just you doing an experiment with a person. A relationship is an experiment. So go with the curiosity of that. Go with the excitement of that. And I get it. It's unknown. That's why you're doing it. But try it out. But try not to try it out with everybody. Even when you see, especially when you see red flags. Especially when you see red flags that you know don't work for you. Like, if you're on a date or starting to date someone and you know that you can't tolerate yelling, and you realize that the person you just called bae is yelling at you, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna change either. Unless they want to change. And you could bring it up to this person and they can maybe think about changing, but more often than not, they won't. And you need to be honest with yourself about that. You need to see and accept the red flags as they come and address them as they come, so that you can see what works for you and what doesn't. And try not to get too attached to being with someone. That's not, your relationship is not your identity. It's really not. It's not your entire identity. You're not a completely different person when you're in a relationship. Well, sometimes you could be. You are still you. Whether you're with somebody or not, whether you're dating multiple people or not, you're still you. So don't get so wrapped up in that. Don't just accept anyone who says yes. Actually ask the questions. Actually discern. Actually be honest. Be open. But be good to yourself first. Everyone is not a match, and that is okay. But that is how you know who's here for you and who's not. You know how exhausting it would be if everyone you met you're supposed to be with? Can you imagine all those connections at all times? At all times, and you're staying with them even though you see and everything in you and everyone around you tells you that this doesn't work, but you're pushing anyway. So you're hurting yourself for an idea. Let go of that idea. Let go of the idea that you're supposed to be in a relationship with someone in order to be worthy, in order to be good. You know how I feel about good. I don't subscribe to good. I subscribe to heathen. Let go of all that shit. Everybody not a match. That's okay. Everybody not supposed to be a match. Well, let's talk about it in the comment section. Let's talk about it on my social media accounts that are in the description box below. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm right. Give me engagement, guys. Come on, let's have a conversation. Let's do this, because that's what this is for. Now, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week to probably get on your nerves again. Bye.